This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Well, this could be a big day for straightening out the Clackamas County ballot mess. Thousands of votes have yet to be counted, and today we will hear an updated timeline to get that done.
Then a local man doing what he can to help drivers stay safe by fixing their taillights before they get stopped. Plus,
You know, that's how I kind of feel about Mondays, too. Welcome, Monday, and welcome to the kids from Westland High School, the state champion symphonic choir.
Ooh.
With us this morning, live in our lobby. That is a strong showing of high school students at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have more on their story coming up here in just a few minutes on Sunrise.
Incredible. They sound amazing. I thought they'd show up in jeans and t-shirts, but they're in their formal robes.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Hey, happy Monday, everybody. So glad you're watching. We've got the choir. We have a lot of news to cover. Do we have a nice day on the way?
Well, please, a little applause for the weekend.
Yeah,
Come on,
it was
give
great.
it up for the weather, people. Yeah. Woo! Thank you all. Yeah, I really didn't expect to have to ask for that. We went 73, 76 over the weekend. We do have some cloudiness right now. This is the back edge of the clouds that came in yesterday afternoon. You can see we're starting to see some breaks up top. The sun pops up this morning at 5:31, by the way. It's already getting bright out. We're at 56, a very comfortable start to your day, and it will be another good one. We have the cloudiness around that will give way to increasing sunshine, 60 at noon, and we should get back up to 70 degrees for a high temperature today. Back to you.
all right, well, we start with the latest on that bad batch of election ballots that had a faulty barcode on them from Clackamas County. And today, officials expect to give an updated timeline for when those ballots will be counted.
Let's go back to last Friday, because by the end of last Friday, only about a third of the ballots received by the county elections office had actually been processed, and they estimate as many as 60,000 ballots are part of that bad batch. The county also says that none of the ballots with one of those faulty barcodes have actually been counted yet. The county has to duplicate each one of them by hand, and that process hasn't started yet, although it is expected to begin today. The deadline they're trying to beat is June 13th, because Oregon law states that all ballots must be counted and certified by that date in order to count.
Well, Clackamas County Clerk Sherry Hall says they first noticed the barcode issue on May 3rd. That's 2 weeks before the election. And she says instead of testing actual ballots from the printer, the ones that go out to the voters, they tested ballots printed at the elections office. And by the time they noticed the error on the actual real ballots, it was too late. Hall says they've used that system for years with no issues and gave several reasons why the county doesn't test real ballots.
We've talked about that because if we had ballots printed by the external printer, we might have known about this problem. But it's the timing of it all that doesn't allow that sometimes, because of the printer scheduling each of their customers, just different things.
The error has delayed a key U.S. House race, Oregon's 5th congressional district. That includes a large portion of Clackamas County. That race between 7-term Democrat Kurt Schrader, who so far is trailing far behind challenger Jamie McLeod Skinner.
Here are a couple of other headlines on your Monday morning. Portland police are looking for information about a deadly shooting just before 3 o'clock yesterday near 99th and Southeast Ramona. When officers arrived, someone had already taken the victim to a fire station with a gunshot wound. An ambulance drove the man to the hospital where he later died. His name hasn't been released and there's no word on a suspect. Anyone with information should contact Portland police. And in case you missed it, a teenage boy has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Milana Lee. Beaverton police say the suspect was charged in Washington County Juvenile Court Friday morning. Because the suspect is a juvenile, officials did not release his name or details as to how or when he was arrested. Lee's body was found May 11th in a small stream near Barrows Park, 2 days after she was reported missing. And those are some of your Monday morning headlines.
A Portland man is on a mission to keep drivers safe while also reducing unnecessary traffic stops in the city. And he says this mission of his not only addresses public safety, but also social justice. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with more.
During a Saturday cleanup in Portland's Richmond neighborhood, people living nearby or folks just passing through
This is a great service.
might have noticed Don Merrill and a sign for his nonprofit See and Be Seen,
I also printed it this way so that when they drive by, they can look up in the rearview mirror and read it.
announcing burnt-out taillights can be replaced here.
When you see enough of these, you just get to know it.
Volunteers inspect and change the dead light bulbs.
Looks good, but it's not.
A lot of people don't even know that they have a light that's out.
A small but important service.
In some neighborhoods, that's a bigger deal than in other neighborhoods.
Merrill's mission started a couple of years back.
For this one little narrow thing, I'm very committed to it.
His intent to reduce the number of people getting pulled over by police for a minor equipment violation.
My concern when I hear about people being pulled over for a taillight is that it can become a dangerous situation for people in the community, especially people of color, is what I've noticed when I read the news.
It's a really difficult issue, and this is just a tiny little thing that I'm doing. I mean, this is not going to change the world, but I'm hoping that, you know, someone who comes to get a bulb replaced because they don't want to get pulled over by the police, whether it's because of public safety or whether it's because they don't want to be profiled, that's what I'm here for.
In March, Governor Brown signed Senate Bill 1510 into law. Part of that legislation aimed at cutting down on unnecessary police stops and interactions by prohibiting officers from initiating traffic stops for minor issues.
I would say it is a step in the right direction. You know, every little bit is a step in the right direction.
But Merrill says he'll wait to see whether this new law makes a difference.
You know, police are police. They're going to do what they do, and I'd like to think that that will mean fewer stops, but you just don't know.
So he and his volunteer team will continue this outreach.
Like I said, good as new.
The more bulbs that get changed, the more conversations people have, maybe those police stop data numbers will go down. You know, that would be a nice goal.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Climate! You said justice! Climate! Justice! Climate! Justice!
Hundreds of students walked out of class Friday for a climate strike. It happened just outside of Portland's City Hall downtown. Students showed up with a list of demands, including more green infrastructure, less freeway expansions, fewer freeway expansions, and a divestment in fossil fuels.
I mean, this is our future. It's the future for everyone. This is obviously a global issue, and so it affects every single person. And it's important for us to express that.
Like, there are so many ways that everyone is impacted, but especially communities who are most marginalized in our society, like low-income and BIPOC communities.
Several elected officials, including City Commissioner Carmen Rubio, showed up to support the rally. Following several speeches, students marched from City Hall to Revolution Hall in Southeast in the name of climate justice.
So that was back on Friday. Between then and now, Rod, we had a pretty spectacular weekend to the point where you actually demanded a round of applause for yourself. At the start of this program.
Shameful of you three that I had to ask for that.
Happens every once in a while.
Another nice day today. Now, we started talking about this, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, that the modeling was showing a return to some cooler, wet weather for Memorial Day weekend. They're still sticking to that. So it'll be interesting to see if that turns out to be true, because it's been an amazingly consistent pickup by the extended forecast data that we look at. Anyway, but back to today. Well, it's just going to be nice out there again. This is a push of warmer air that will throw some thick cloud cover our way tomorrow, and that may or may not produce just a little dab of light rain. That would be tomorrow. For today, I mentioned earlier in the show, we're on the back edge of that cloudiness that started to come in yesterday afternoon. I can't find anybody except for Seattle that's reported any light moisture, but there are some specks of some light rain now moving east of the Dalles. Out into the Columbia Basin. Here's the cloud cover. You see some breaks from the Wells Fargo camera. Again, it's 5:09 in the morning. We're brightening up. Sun up this morning, 5:31. A very comfortable number out the door for you. 56 degrees out at the airport. Salem's in the 50s. Kelso 52. 50 degrees in Newport this morning. Baker City looks like the cold spot on the map at 35 degrees. So good looking day today. We have the cloudiness to start. That'll break up and get out of here, and we'll see increasing sun during the day. Northwest winds 5 to 15. Salem 71. Corvallis, McMinnville close, 69 degrees. This shows Longview 66, but 68 in Battleground, 71 in Vancouver. So not as warm as yesterday, but very, very nice weather indeed. And to understand this light rain chance that I've added for tomorrow's forecast may or may not materialize, but I have the chance in there. And then Wednesday, it's back to 77 and sun. First front comes in on Thursday, and then there's the table laid out for some cooler, wet weather times into your holiday weekend. And that, no applause for that. I'm not even going to ask for it. That is your forecast.
No worries, Rod. Thank you. Hey, for the first time in 3 years, the National Alliance on Mental Health of Oregon hosted its NAMI Walks fundraiser in person. The walk in Northeast Portland's Peninsula Park raised money for mental health advocacy and local programs and services. 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. lives with a mental illness. That number is 1 in 10 when it comes to children. Raising awareness is a big part of NAMI's mission, and the pandemic has made the need to connect people with resources even more urgent.
You can't get away from what we just experienced. And an organization like ours, NAMI, helps in that process of the healing process, the coping process, so people stay healthy.
The walk was a chance for people struggling with mental health to come together and share their experiences. Pre-pandemic, NAMI Walks Northwest was the largest mental health walk on the West Coast. If you'd like more info about NAMI and its free programs, visit namior.org.
We decided what this Sunrise show could use on a Monday morning was a little talent. And we actually have a lot of talent with us this morning in our lobby. Those are the kids from Westland High School, the symphonic choir from Westland High School, and they added state champs to their resume earlier this month. So we're going to meet some of them, hear more about their story, with more singing on Sunrise right after this.